Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. I see everyone's coming in to the workshop today, to the webinar, where we're going to be talking about controlling debt and taking control of your finances. Come on in, come on in. Glad you all could make it on this Saturday afternoon. It's a beautiful day. And I am just so excited. I'm always excited when the Lord is just doing marvelous things in the life of his believers, his saints, and I'm definitely one of them. So come on in, come on in. I can't wait to get started. We're going to give everyone a few more minutes to get in here. So glad that you all could join us today. You all are excited about taking control of your debt, right? I know you are. I know you are. I know you are. And I just want to share some good information with you. Some things you may have heard, some things you may have never heard before. And so in a few minutes, I'm gonna get a feel of the room of who's joining in with us on today. So this webinar is it's exciting for me because we are launching a new program and you all get to be a part of the launch. This is our first reveal. And so I'm super excited. So we're going to give everyone a few more minutes, about 60 more seconds. It's 12:04. All right, so we'll get started here just shortly. Thank you all so much for getting on here with me today. I am your presenter, Erica Hall. Good morning. Yeah. Let me know who's here. Who do we have here? Oh, June, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good morning to you. June is checked in. So if you are here and you're willing to share, we want to share in chat, let folks know that you're here, and let folks know that you are here to participate. You showed up today to participate and get some good information. So who do we have here? Who do we have? We have Zelda in the house. Hey Zelda, are you hailing from out of the States? I know Zelda is usually doing some traveling. So hey Zelda. Hey Kimberly, all the way from California. Look who is it. All right, Shanice is in the house. Hey Shanice. All right. Oh, Zelda, you're home. Wonderful. Well, I'll get to see you soon then. I should be seeing you. Zelda's in Michigan. Hey, Millicent, thank you for checking in. We got Danae from Detroit, Michelle from Detroit. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you all so much for being a part of the launch on today. This is going to be just an introduction. Hey Therese. And we're just a team of folks that we know we have something very useful and helpful that folks need in their lives. And so I'm on here today and I have some of our back office support or some of our support teams. I want to give a shout out to Millicent. Thank you so much for supporting today, as you always do. And also to we got Joshua, Tyrell, and a shout out to Rico. That's the dream team. These are our interns, our summer social media. These young guys, they're doing just a fabulous job of coming on and working with us for a bit so that we can get the word out and spread the word on social media. All right, so let's get right into it. No more belaboring. I am your host, your presenter, Erica Hall with Erica Hall Wealth Advisors. And I want to get a feel of the room today. I want to get a feel to see not only who we have tuning in, but what kind of information or what kind of literacy, where are you on your financial level? So let me know where you are. So if you are
here today because you desire to get your debt under control. I want you to put a one in the chat. Put a one for me in the chat. Let me see who we have. Put a one for me in the chat. I just want to see. All right. Okay. You want to get your debt under control. All right. All right. Well, come on, let's see. Okay. So we got three people. All right. What about if you want to figure out how to stop living from check to check? Is that you today? You want to stop living from check to check, or you want to know some more information about how you can grow from living from check to check. Put a two in the chat. Put a two in the chat. Let's see who we have in the room. Okay. All right. Okay. We have a few more of those than we do there one. All right. All right, checking in. All right, Theo, how you doing today, sir? Thank you for joining in with us today. Always good to see you. All right, so um, third one. Put put the number three in the chat if you are here and you've done a really good job about saving. You living check to check is not really the issue for you. You don't have a whole lot of debt, but you want to know how to get more sophisticated with your investments. And you just basically want to level up your investment portfolio, or you want to start or build or diversify your investment portfolio. Put a three for me in the chat. A three in the chat. I want to see who we have because everybody's not at the same place, everybody's not at the same level, and so we want to make sure that we don't leave anybody out. We want to make sure that we cover everything. Okay, we got quite a bit of threes. All right, more threes than twos and ones. Okay, so I know where my focus needs to be. I know what we need to focus in and talk about today. So let's get right into it. So yeah, this webinar is for you if you just, your financial literacy basically stops at saving and doing that on a regular basis, or if you lack the financial literacy that's negatively impacting your lifestyle, right? This webinar is for you if you're looking to turn your money situation around and you want to I'm gonna keep throwing that phrase out there, level up. Everybody's saying level up, but it means something. It means something to me. It means something to go from level to level to level to level. We want to get better, right? We don't want to stay at the same place. And so I'm here to show you how we can do that. I just want to throw some ideas out at you today. And so um, this is this is the time that we get to share and talk about some new things that will be coming your way. Because if you feel like you know all the ways to spend your money, we all know how to be really good consumers, but you have no clue on how to save it and manage. Don't worry, you're not alone. You just need to get lit, financially lit, right? So, financial literacy and know how in your life, powered by a financial team, your financial team. I am Erica Hall, and they call me the financial lady. They call me the financial lady because I eat, sleep, drink, everything financial industry. I love it. Financial know how is my superpower. I'm a go getter. I go get financial information and give it to you. I bring it to you and help you to make informed financial decisions, right? And so I want to make sure that that's what I'm doing. I've been in the financial industry for over 20 years. And during this time, I found out that people are in a couple of they're in different, different personal situations, but it usually pans out to one or two. One, every time you want to make some boss moves, your debt is holding you back. And sometimes we think that if we don't think about it or talk about it, that it'll just go away. But no, it only gets worse unless we deal with it. So we're gonna show you some tools that to help you deal with it. Or two, you are really good. I love working with these folks as well. I love working with both areas, but these folks as well. You're really good at making money. Oh, you can make some money. You've done a great job of saving, but you're not quite sure how to grow it or to leverage it or what that means. And you want to make sure that you're putting your money in the right places, but you're sitting on cash, and because you don't know, you're paralyzed, right? You're paralyzed and making some key financial decisions. And so, you know, you would benefit from partnering with someone on your financial team. Now, I don't want you to get too discouraged because I'm going to spend the majority of the rest of the time talking about and sharing these solutions with you. And so I just want to let you know that you deserve a financial advisor. You deserve an advisor. You should have a financial support team. All right. And listen, I've been where you are. I didn't start off where I am today. I had to level up. I mean, I was born and raised in Detroit, grew up in Detroit, right downtown, near Tiger Stadium, downtown area, graduated with honors from high school, from college. And listen, through all those that matriculation, not one mention of a 401k, right? Not one teaching of real estate investing, no freaking lesson on buying stocks and investing in bonds, life insurance or annuities, none of that. And I don't know about you, but I took math every year. Every year. Come on, put it in the chat for me. Let me know. Did you learn about investing in high school, in college? Did you learn about stocks and bonds, investing? Let me see what kind of what kind of literacy were you given during your formative years, knowing that these were some of the things that the first thing that we end up doing is getting student loans, when we go off to college and all that kind of stuff. One semester of trading. Okay, all right, yeah. All right, Jim said no education on finances. Anybody else? Anybody else? All right. Theo learned about investing in grad school. Okay. All right. Joshua said, you have in high school before graduation. Joshua, I'm so glad to hear that you have been introduced to investing. But like most of us, I had no introduction to investing, to getting into stocks. And I know it's not by accident. Listen, I got into my first 401k. I was about 22. I was working at a company. I had interned and I got hired in. And there were all these guys around the office talking about these blue chips. And I'm like, what are these blue chips? So Fidelity was coming on the scene. And it's like, we're going to have an enrollment meeting and enroll you into the 401k. And when I heard about what the potential was for growing my money in the 401k, first of all, I was upset. I was pissed, right? I was like, why is this the first time that I'm hearing about this? But it just lit my fire. It lit my fire. Once I got over being upset, it lit my fire. And it was all I could do, talk about, think about. I said, nag my mother about it. She finally got a financial advisor. And she was like, you should sit down with my financial advisor and maybe she can show you how to get into the business. And she did. Her name was Mary Wells. And she took me under her wing, mentored me, brought me into the business. And that was over 20 years ago. And so I've been doing this for some time. So I'm not new at it. So I'm here to tell you that you can be successful today, even if you're starting from zero. So let's get right into it because listen, I've helped quite a few people, and so I know that this system works. So I've built this system that will help coach you through each step of your phases of your financial life. All right. So in this webinar, I'm going to answer some of your questions, but I got a lot of information to get through. So I'm going to ask that if you have questions, I'll wrap up by answering any questions that you may have for the content that I have to get through over the next 40 minutes. So I won't be monitoring the chat, but I will leave space at the end for you to ask your questions and provide some answers for you. All right. So today we're gonna cover four topics. The four topics we're gonna talk about: how to live below your means, so that you can stop living from check to check and start enjoying breathing room in your budget, in your cash flow. We're going to talk about, give you some pointers on how to do that, how to do that. Two, we're going to talk about how to level up your financial portfolio so that you can be comfortably covered and enjoy any of life's surprises. You can prepare. You may not know what life has in store tomorrow or next year, but you can be prepared for those surprises. Believe me, life has many emergencies, right? Right? We know that. We know that. All right. We're also going to talk about how and where to start saving early so that your future self can thank you. Yeah, we're going to deal with your future self. Think about your future self. Your future self is depending on the decisions that you're going to be making today. Those purchases, those investments, the job, career you choose, the decisions that you make today. In fact, any debt that you take on today, your future self is going to have an opinion about that. Think about that. All right. And fourth, we're going to talk about how to use credit to your advantage. Believe it or not, debt can be a good thing. Ah, I just said something right there. Debt can be a good thing. And I know the Bible tells us that, the borrower is slave to the lender. And so that's why we want to make sure that we explain that point today. So we're going to dispel some myths to break incorrect uses of credit and debt that we've been taught. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I was just like you. Those credit card companies came on campus and gave me cards, and I didn't deserve, should not have had one. All right, so let's jump right on into it. Let's jump on right into it. How to live below your means and stop living check to check. There are a large percentage of Americans who live check to check. They're one paycheck away from just being in a detrimental situation. And so we want to figure out, how is it that we can stop living check to check? And the answer is to live below your means. What does that mean? What does that look like? Well, that simply means that if you are bringing in more money than you have going out to maintain your lifestyle, and you have money left over, then you're living below your means. That money that you have left over is not to be just exhausted by consuming, right? And just spending. And so we want to get control of that. Living below your means. I learned this new phrase recently. These new phrases is called, you got that long money, right? And if you living above your means, you got that short money. Isn't that right? So how many of you can answer this question? How many of you can answer this question? And I don't need to know what your figures are, but I want you to put it in the chat because I want to see who we have here. How many of you can answer this question? On a monthly basis, do you know how much money you have coming in? Let me see. Yeah? Come on, give me some yeses. Do you know on a monthly basis, to the dollar, how much money you have coming in? All right, that's mostly, all right. Yeah, good. That's mostly everyone here. Okay, good. Now, next question. Do you know to the dollar how much you have going out? Come on, I want to see some yeses. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, one yes. Yes, yeah, okay. Exactly. All right, there. Not exactly. Okay. And then just to stretch you a little bit. So for those of you who know exactly how much you have going out and how much you have coming in, then you should know how much you have left over, or should have left over every month. Is that a yes? Come on, post it in the chat. Let me know. Not exactly to the dollar. Okay, absolutely. Yes. So if you can say yes, you should definitely be able to say absolutely to the dollar. But for those of you who said not exactly, not offhand, Listen, the Bible tells us in Proverbs 27, that we should know the state of our flock. We should know it by name. We should know it, know it to the dollar, to the T, how much we have coming in, not a guess, and how much we have going out every single period, whatever that cycle is, however you're paid. You should know exactly to offhand. You should be able to rattle it off. And the only way to know that is to have a budget, right? Is to have a budget, is to know what you have, to be able to see. You need to be able to see everything in one place. You need to be able to see your financial picture. It shouldn't just be a guesstimate. You should be able to see. That means that when you go to sit down and go over your finances, you should be looking at everything you have coming in and everything you have going out, what you have left over. All right. So the way that we do that is by tracking our spending. If you don't have a budget, you get started by tracking your spending. So I want to challenge you today for the next 30, 60 days. 60 days is usually pretty good because sometimes you have expenses that don't occur every month. Sometimes you have quarterly expenses and things like that, but you can build it into your planning. But just as an exercise, promise me that you will track your spending over the next month or 2 months. Do that. Track your spending over the next 30 to 60 days. And I want you to actually see what's going on in your cash flow. Now, at the end of that 30 to 60 days, then you're going to be able to see what that picture looks like. I want you to tell me, I want you to tell yourself, am I operating at a surplus? Do I got that long money? Or am I operating at a deficit? Your money is short. That means you still have bills that need to be paid and the money ran out. That means that do you have more month than money, or do you have more money than month? If you have more money than month, then we can work. We got some things that we can do. We can put some strategies in place, because this is our foundation. This is where we start and build upon. But if you find that you have more month than money, you have more bills, you're living above your means, then there are a couple things that you probably need to do. One, you probably need to live on less. Oh, I said it. Yep, I said it. Yes, June, I'm gonna help you. Help you. Yes, help us, Lord, to allow us. That is good. I'm so glad that you put that in the chat, June, because that is what the Holy Spirit has to give us the ability to be content. Like I said, when we first started, we are really great at being consumers. Sometimes we're hyper consumers, right? Hyper consumers. And so one is you need to maybe cut some expenses. Now, you probably won't be able to cut your non-discretionary expenses, but what we consider discretionary expenses like gym memberships, streaming services, yeah. How much TV can you watch? Eating out, emotional spending. Come on, if I'm hitting something, put it in the chat. If you're guilty, come on, tell the truth, shame the devil. Eating out, emotional spending, not staying on track, not staying on top of your expenses, and so you're paying all these hidden fees, paying high interest rates when you should have refinanced that loan. Interest rates been been at historically low rates for the past at least 5 years. You should have refinanced that loan and lowered your interest rate. You haven't reviewed your insurance policies in a long time and gone out to see get quotes to see if people will give you a new company, will give you a lower interest rate. Yeah, these are maintenance things that we can do to live on less, to free up some money. We start cutting. Sometimes you gotta let some things go. And look, I just identified about 150 to $200 a month. You can cut right there. That's $2,000 a year to invest, or go towards paying down some debt. Yes, yes. So live on less. So the first thing that we can do is live on less. And I'm gonna share this with you. And this may be drastic. You may even you may even have to do something pretty drastic. But before I throw it out there, let me see what everybody's saying. Emotional spending is my vice. Eating out is a big one. All right, eating out, that's okay. Emotional spending. All right. Buying food is a big expense. Yes, 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 yes. Eating out. Um, yeah, that's one of my areas too, because I'm so busy. I don't cook a lot. But what I do find is it's always helpful to work it into your budget, right? Create a budget so that if you set aside a workable budget that fits into your plan and you earmark it for eating out, then you don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to feel guilty because it's part of your plan. All right. So I was gonna say, I was saving this one, this drastic one. It's downsizing. Downsizing, like your house, your living arrangement. We've had to do it. I've had to do it. Had to downsize in order to make sure that we are living at our means. Sometimes you got to start over. Sometimes you have to take a good look in the financial mirror and start over. But the best thing that you can do is pay really close attention to where your money is going. And listen, my third point, my second point, on living less is always give your money an assignment. You want to make sure that you always give your money an assignment. Don't have any lazy money, because your money is supposed to work for you. All right. So if you find that you have more month than money, you can cut some expenses. And then two, you can earn more, right? This is what I was just getting ready to talk about. You can earn more by making your money work for you. So I read that over 50% of Americans have a side hustle. All right. So we got any of those 50% people joining us today? Do you have a side hustle? How many people on here do we have that have multiple streams of income? Earning more, making your, yeah, put it in the chat. Let me see you. All right. You do. Uh-oh. 6 streams. That's what I'm talking about. I knew we had some folks, some good folks on here. I need a side hustle. Okay. Yes, yes. Multiple streams of income. When you look at what you have coming in, those are those sources, those streams of income bumped up against what you have going out. That's it right there. Multiple streams of income. So you need to either live on less and or earn more, make your money work for you. So yes, multiple streams. All right, Joshua, Therese, 3 multiple streams of income. The next one under earning more is investing. Investing is a way to make passive income. It's a way to what we passive income, we call passive income, that money you make while you sleep. That money you make while you sleep. Okay, so for all of you who have multiple streams of income, how many of those streams are rolling in while you getting some sleep at night? Do you have to? So passive income, let me see you in the chat. Passive income is that income that you're making that does not require your presence. It doesn't require your presence. All right, yeah. Because listen, there's only 24 hours in a day. And you gotta sleep at least 8 hours of those. And if you have a job or if you have somewhere that you're dedicated to, how are you going to find the time to work another job? So your focus, especially if you have a 9 to 5, your focus should be on increasing your multiple streams of income that do not require your time or your presence. Now, does require your attention because you should know the state of your flock, right? Know the state of your flock. All right, so only one of our multiple streams of income um folks, okay, two people said that they have streams of income that doesn't require their presence. Passive income is the key. This is where you're going to find that disposable income. Disposable income is the money that's left over that you have each month. Okay, so let me recap. If you have tracked your spending, you have now found out that you have either a surplus or a deficit. You've cut some spending, so now you freed up some money, and now you have disposable income. So now I'm talking to you with that disposable income. We identified $100 to $200 a month that now you can do something with and level up your portfolio. That takes us to point number two. Yeah. Point number two, where we're going to look at building a portfolio. You should have a nice portfolio. Your portfolio is your investment of your assets, right? Those things that you have of value. These include things like your savings, real estate, your investment portfolio, your cash value, and your life insurance policies. Anything that you own with appreciating or income generating or exchange value. This is your portfolio. I'm going to talk about three here today that are really, really simple when it comes to your investing portfolio. And so the first one we're going to talk about is your emergency savings, your emergency fund. So one of the ways to eliminate the living check to check is having an emergency fund. So we're going to take that $100 to $200 and we're going to start allocating a portion of that towards building our emergency fund. Now, of course, if you're just getting started from zero, if you're starting from zero, then you're going to maybe set a goal, a SMART goal, make it specific, measurable, attainable, real, and time bound, right? It's going to be SMART. Come on, type that in the chat. Make it SMART, make it specific, make it measurable, make it attainable. It's something that you can do. You have the funds and the means to do it on a regular basis. Yes, make it SMART. And it's real. It's a real goal, and it's time bound. Give yourself a time limit. Give yourself, if you're gonna do it over the next 6 months, and you set a goal of however much you're gonna set, you divide that over through the 6 months, and that's how much you're gonna set aside. Real simple, SMART goals. So your emergency fund, if you're starting from zero, make it real, make it attainable, make it $1,000 your first level. Then challenge yourself to go to $3,000. Okay, you're already there. For our folks who are really good at saving, you already got 5, 6,000, 10,000 sitting in your savings. So then the emergency fund, that is already set. You've already reached that goal of having your emergency fund. So when you have an emergency fund and you're living within a budget, then you're no longer living check to check. You have now moved out of the statistic. You're no longer a statistic of living check to check. Now, listen, it may feel like you're living check to check because you have a budget, but that's smart. That's smart. And this is I want to drop this here. I want to say, so when an opportunity comes and you're not quite sure, or you don't quite see that it is something that you should, when a financial opportunity or purchase comes along and you're not quite sure that it's something that you want to do according to the funds you have, I don't want you to say, I can't afford it. I want you to say, that's not in my budget. That's not in my budget right now. I'm working on something. I'm working on building something, and that is not in my budget. Don't say I can't afford it, because you can afford. You can afford it. God has given us the capacity for increase, and so if it's something that He has ordained for you to have, just let folks know you're working on something, or tell yourself that's not in my budget, right? And so I used to tell people that all the time, my girlfriends, my sisters, like when we go to the mall, if you don't have a budget, anything you want and you see, you can afford it. You can afford it because you have not identified what your spending budget is for this period. All right, I digress. All right, next is investing. Next is investing. So how to level up your portfolio is to build an emergency savings. And when I work with my clients with building their emergency savings, once we reached a certain level, then I'm going to say, those dollars are sitting liquid in cash. I'm going to say, okay, now it's time to take your savings, your focus, or where you're putting your money into um into that next investment portfolio, right? Into something that's going to build faster and grow faster, because your emergency fund is sitting in cash. You want it liquid, you want it available for emergencies. You don't want it fluctuating with the market. So our next level is investing. Investing is a great way to put your money to work for you. All right. This is when you're putting that lazy money to work. It is no longer just sitting. Now, it should be just sitting in the emergency fund. And of course, you can earn some dividends and things in there, but not a whole lot. But when you are ready to build for that next level, you want to build an investment portfolio. Over time, as I mentioned when I first got on here, I've been in this industry for over 20 years, and I can tell you one thing has been consistent. Although there's been ups and downs in the market has grown exponentially over time. Over a 10-year period, on average, between 10 and 20% on average, depending on how you're invested. And so you want to make sure that you have some stock market investment. You want to invest in the stock market in a portion of your portfolio and maybe diversify with some other areas. I won't get into the details today, but investing is where you want to make sure that you get that boost for exponential growth. All right. And then number 3, creating a plan to put away money for retirement, right? You should be saving for retirement today. Now, I believe everyone on here, except for my interns, everyone on here is at least 18 and up. At least 18 and up. It's never too early to start saving for retirement. You should be saving for retirement. All right. So how should you start saving early so that your future self will thank you? This is moving us to point number 3, investing, saving early so that your future self will thank you. Listen, if there's one thing that I hear all the time is, I wish I had started sooner. I wish I had started sooner. Money has time value that you cannot get back. If a person 20 years old today started saving until they're 60, just that $100 that we identified, versus a person who's 50 years old or 40 years old even started saving that same $100 over time, or just in a 20-year period, that 20-year-old to when they're 40 and the 40-year-old to when they're 60, the time value of money just grows faster the longer time that it grows larger the longer time that you have. And so money has a time value. And so every year counts. And so when you start early, you just want to make that part of your regular part of your habit, that you save, you put something aside and you do it on a regular basis, and you start in that retirement savings account. So I want to ask you a question. I want you to put the answer in the chat. Let me know, have you heard the myth that you should pay off all your debts before you start saving? I kind of gave it away because I said it's a myth, but have you heard that you should how many of you believe that you should pay off all your debts before you start saving. So Zelda, you said you heard it. All right. So I want to now let me know if you agree. If you agree, do you believe that you should pay off all your debt before you start saving? Come on, real quick. Let me know. Where are you? All right. Nope, you don't. Okay. Nope. We got nope. No, you shouldn't start paying. Nope, you don't. All right. Yes, yes, yes. That's good. That's good. You all aren't fooled. You all aren't fooled. No, you should not pay off all your debts before you start saving. No, you should start. I just said it a few minutes earlier. You should start saving as soon as you've identified that disposable income. You want to start putting money away as soon as possible, and you want that to be a part of your budgeting. It should be built into your budgeting. Just like you pay your bills, you should be saving. All right, Zelda, you're so wise. Zelda said we will always have debt. We will always have debt. Uh, Danae said no. The way those student loans are, I would not make it to invest. All right, right. You would. Well, hopefully you'll get to the point where you can pay off those student loans. Come on, President Biden, right? We want to get some help here with some policies that are going to help us get rid of those student loans. But in the interim, yeah, I see what you're saying today. You're making a really good point. You want to make sure that you start saving because debts have to be managed over time. And you may acquire debt as you go through life for major purposes. Not many of us, when we graduate from college and get started in our careers, have $250,000, $300,000 sitting around when it's time to buy our first home, or even $30,000 when it's time to uh, buy our first vehicle. All right, so somebody JJM. Okay, Pastor. Yes, I see. That is good. Now, Pastor, you have been reading my notes. That is good. Well, I was going to throw that out there. A that is a profound statement. Can that be good? Do you agree? Put it in the chat. Let me know. What do you think? Can that be good? Can that be good? The Bible tells us the borrower is slave to the lender. So when can that be good? All right. So Zelda said absolutely. Yes, it's great collateral. Other people's money is always good. I'm over here about to jump out my seat. Listen to that. That's good. We got some wise folks on here today. Absolutely. Debt can be a good thing. Debt can be a good thing when it is used with the utmost discipline, when it's entered into with the utmost discipline. Because listen, we live in a debt-based economy. The United States of America is based on debt. Our economy is based on debt. It's based on when monies are made available or put into circulation, it's put into circulation to promote lending. It's to promote lending. When interest rates are lowered in this historical interest rate environment, it's to promote debt lending. And then your worthiness as a consumer, as a buyer, as a even when it comes to looking for a job or qualifying for employment, is based on your credit worthiness. So if you don't have any debt, or if you've never had any credit or debt, and have shown that you are responsible and disciplined to pay it off, then if you don't have it's not looked upon favorably. So you want to make sure that we're approaching debt responsibly. And I want to share this with you. Paying off debt and investing for your future are both very important goals. But you got to choose the one that's right for you, and based on a plan that you put together. Basically, the answer boils down to how your money can best be put to work for you. So I want to look at a scenario. So look at the scenario, for example. Um, if you, let's say you're working at your employer and your company has a retirement plan, and inside of that retirement plan, or as I mentioned, over a 10-year period, you could earn anywhere from 10% to 20% inside of that retirement plan. Now, that's a long-term retirement goal, right? And you want to make sure that you're steady plotting and putting those funds inside of that retirement plan. But during that time, you might have some credit cards that you have run up the limit, or mortgage that you have acquired. The If you look at the mortgage versus your retirement plan, both of those have a long-term approach. And so if your mortgage has an interest rate of 4%, 5%, maybe even 3% today, versus you being able to earn 10 to 20% in your 401k, your 403b, even in your IRA, which one is the best option? Well, you are not looking to pay off that 4% mortgage. It's better to just ride that out over time. Use that lender's, other people's money over that same period while you're earning more in your 401k. You're earning 10%, 20, 18, 20, 25%. Over the last year, the market returned between 30 and 35%. So you don't want to give that up by using your money to pay off the mortgage. You want to go ahead and lending, we say money is on sale. So you are all, I don't have to belabor the point. You have all have wisdom when it comes to paying off debt versus saving for investing. But before we move on to the next point, I want to make this statement very loud and clear. If you save in your retirement plan, in your 401k, you've been saving, I want to tell you, do not touch it. Do not touch it. Do not take that money out of the 401k for nothing, for nothing. It is not a rainy day fund, the 401k. It is not for Christmas shopping. It is not for car repairs or roof repairs. That's what the emergency fund is for. Come on, we're building. We're building. The retirement plan came after your emergency fund, because you got 20,000 saved up for emergencies. Okay, 10,000 saved up for emergencies. You got an investment portfolio that's not inside of the 401k, right? You got an investment fund that's there, that's growing in your short term or your midterm time frame. But your retirement money is for your future self. Your future self is going to be upset with you if you spend their money to live on. If you spend your future self's money because and you're paying 20, 30%, possibly even more depending on your income, in taxes and penalties, ouch. So if I can say it, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Let me know that you hear, because I can't hear y'all. I can't hear y'all talking back to me. So I need to know y'all hear me. Please put in the chat. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Please don't touch your 401k. Don't pull money out of your IRA. Qualified dollars means these monies have never been taxed. There's going to come a time when the IRS wants you to pay taxes on those dollars, but don't tell yourself, don't touch it. Your future self will thank you. All right. So last area is how to use credit to your advantage. So believe it or not, yes, debt can be good. And so I want to dispel some myths and break the incorrect uses of credit as we have been taught. Someone said, leave my future self alone. That's right. Don't touch it. Your future self is going to be so much more better off because you didn't. All right. So last point today is how to use credit to your advantage. I don't know if you had the same experience or similar experience. In my first credit card, I was still 17. I was in college. My birthday was a little late. So I was in college at 17. I turned 18 in December. So starting school, credit card companies on campus. You know, we don't have a whole lot of money. I didn't even have a job, but I was a college student. Credit card companies on campus giving out free pizza if you sign up for a credit card, and they gave me a credit card. Needless to say, I jacked it up. It was only $500, but when they sent me my statement, it said that I only needed to pay the minimum, which was like, maybe $20, $18, $25. We have been incorrectly taught. First of all, I should not have received a credit card because I didn't have a job. I was a college student. No money whatsoever. Secondly, paying the minimum, it should be criminal, because the proper use of credit is that credit cards should be paid off every month. Wow. We should not be carrying balances on our credit cards. If you use your credit card before the due date, the balance should be paid. And if you have a sophisticated credit strategy, you're going to pay it off on a specific date before the reporting date to the credit bureau. But let me just say it right there, and I'm not going to belabor the point, but I just want to drive that home. Credit card balances should be paid off every month. That's right. Credit card balances should be paid off every month. And people say, stay out of debt, don't use credit. Well, if you don't have credit, if you've never used your credit, then you have a terrible credit score. So when it comes time for you to use your credit, when you need your credit and you've never even had a debt or anything like that, then bad credit is just the same as no credit, is just as bad as having bad credit. And so I'm going to talk about the proper uses of credit. All right. So ways to improve your credit: make sure you pay off or pay down your credit cards to at least 30%. An ideal level is about 10% per month, right? Or if you want to be really great, pay it completely off. All right. Do not close credit cards because your credit capacity may decrease. Make sure that you do not close your credit cards. And before I'm gonna close today, and I'm gonna talk about capacity. Capacity is so important. Capacity is so important. All right. And if you if you have to build to the point where you can pay your credit cards completely off, make sure at least that if you're going to pay at least the minimum, make sure that you pay it on time. Make sure you pay it on time. Just like you're saving in your emergency fund or you're saving in your retirement plan, your payments to your credit card should be on autopilot. So you make sure that you're paying at least the minimum on time. It hurts you even more, even if you pay the minimum and you pay it after the due date. That can hurt you and make you look bad. All right. And someone mentioned in the chat, I think that was James, oh no, you said don't pay for McDonald's with a credit card. Amen, amen. All right, don't pay. So yeah, there's some proper uses of credit with a credit management strategy. Listen, you don't want to use your credit card to pay for depreciable items. You want your credit card, if you're going to use the best uses of credit card, it's going to be to something that's going to appreciate in value. So no food, no gas, none of the things that are going to depreciate or we call they're disposable items. We don't want to use our credit cards for those things. So I said that I was going to close today talking about capacity. And I want to share this with you. Your credit card has, it's broken up into about 5 or 6 different percentage ranges based on the credit bureau, whatever range you're looking at for a FICO score or your Vantage score. So it may differ, but I'm gonna throw a couple out here that pertains to your FICO score. So listen, 30% of your credit card score is the balances, how much is owed, versus your limits, how much is available. 35% of your credit card score is your payment history. So making sure that you pay it on time. That's why it's so important that if you can put your payments on autopilot, automatically pay at least the minimum over time until you can get to where you can pay the balances completely off, using that disposable income as part of your strategy, saying that, okay, I'm gonna take 12 months to pay down the balance using this much. 35% of your score is your payment history. 15% is your length of credit, how long you've had credit, and 10% is the credit mix. Credit mix. What does that mean? That means there's different types of credit. So if the only kind of credit that you have is what's called revolving credit, credit cards, lines of credit, then you want to make sure that you have get some sophisticated types of credit. And this is how you expand your capacity. So you have secured debt, you have unsecured debt. Secured debt is with a mortgage. Mortgages, what we call installment debt, can really boost the diversified your credit to diversify your credit portfolio. Mortgages offer over a long period of time, right? At least 15, maybe 30 years of credit reporting and showing that you have positive payment history and that you can manage different types of credit. So I want to talk to you about capacity. And one of the best ways that I've been able to understand capacity is from the Bible. In 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 7, maybe you've heard the story. Maybe you've heard the story about the widow's oil. And there's this widow who was left, her husband died, and she was left with all of this debt. And so she goes to God's man of God, the prophet Elijah, and she asks him, listen, you know that I have been destitute, and the people are coming to take my sons away because I owe all this debt. They're going to take my sons to pay off my husband's debt, my family's debt. I need you to help me. And so the prophet tells the widow to go and borrow all these jars of these empty jars, these jars of clay. And so she goes out and she asks all of her neighbors for these empty jars of clay, right? And so once she borrows all of these jars, and then the prophet tells her to lock herself inside, go inside, and to pour the oil. And so she begins to pour oil in these jars until she runs out of jars. And at first glance, in reading this story, most of us will look at, that how the Lord gave her increase and this oil just miraculously appeared in all of these jars. But we know the oil during that time where it was an agriculturally based economy, that she could go sell that oil and not only pay her debts, but that she'd be able to level up, right? But not only that, but the moral of the story here that we see in her borrowing as many jars as she could, she was increasing her capacity. The story was about her faith in the Lord's ability to give her increase. And so the prophet told her, borrow as many jars as you can and borrow not a few. Now, this story is not telling us to go into crazy debt. No, it is not saying that at all. What it's telling us is that we must be able to manage our capacity. When we have credit cards, if the limits are so low, $500, $1,000, $2,000, and you carry a balance on the $500 card Your capacity for increase is so low. Not just financial increase, but just your credit worthiness. We're talking about credit worthiness here today. So I want your takeaway to be here today that with more capacity, not using the credit, but it just means that your credit worthiness, you're available for more increase to happen in your life, right? And so the moral that of our takeaway today is when we want to get control of our debt and take control of our finances, we have to pay attention. We have to know the state of our flock. We have to make sure that we are creating a financial strategy that isn't just spent, earning money and paying bills. We have to build into there an emergency fund, an investing strategy, and save for retirement. And yes, our portfolio also includes our credit portfolio. Yes, a debt portfolio. Don't run away from it. Control it, understand it, become financially literate. Listen, I want to share with you today that the secret to getting the financial life you want is this program that I'm excited to share with you. This solution, it is the My Advisor program. My Advisor works like this. It's an online monthly membership program that gives you access to your very own financial advisor. Your personal advisor will show you how to pay off debt, save more money, build a financial portfolio, build your retirement plan, look at your life insurance, and all the different vehicles that impact your financial life. And listen, there's no guesswork. You'll get simple, actionable steps specific to you that you can use to take control of your money and manage your money all at one affordable price. Now, the way this program works is it's a monthly membership, and I'm going to put in the chat. I want you to check it out with me today because I am um, going to make this offer to you. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to show it to you on the screen here. I'm going to share it with you. All right, so here's how it works. 4 stages in the My Advisor program. You'll start with My Advisor as you implement, depending on where you're getting started. The goal is to get to a place of financial freedom so you can tick off all those items on your bucket list. We have different membership levels, starting at something that is workable for your budget and where you are starting, even if you're starting from zero. Even if you're starting from zero, you can sign up for the My Advisor program. Stage 1 is understanding and helping you with cash flow management. Stage 2 is you're that person who already has it together and now you want to get started investing. We'll build you an investment portfolio. And stage 3 is where we actually build you a financial strategy. And that could be for building a business, for retirement, or whatever those financial goals are. We're making sure we're building a strategy, a plan that you're following along the way. I want to introduce to you the My Advisor program. I'm so excited for you to be a part of this pilot launch. You can sign up today. We are here to make sure that all of the information that we may not have covered today will answer any questions. I want to make sure that I open up the you can raise your hand if you have any questions. I want to open up the chat to see if there are any questions for the program or any questions for me. Did we cover everything? I thank you all for joining us today, but if you have any questions, we'll open it up. All right, so here is the link. Did you get it? All right, good. All right. So here's the link for you to check out the My Advisor program. You're welcome. All right. So Kimberly said, I'm ready to be deliberate regarding my financial future. All right, great, Kimberly. Yes, it has to be a decision made. and you definitely want to be deliberate about it. Doesn't look like we have any other questions. If you have any questions and you want to be sure that I get those, once you sign up for the program, we will you'll be able to respond. For those of you who registered for the webinar, we'll be able to respond. You can send us an email, and we want to thank you so much for attending this webinar today. You've been part of something great, and I thank you for your support. And I hope that you've learned something, or that you will share it with someone. You may not be able to walk them through, but My Advisor has been created because everyone should have access to financial literacy. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. This is Erica Hall with EH Wealth Advisors. My Advisor is ready to go, and we're signing off. Hope you all have a wonderful day. It's beautiful. Go out and enjoy the day. Thank you.